Hey everybody, and welcome to my Ultimate Business Builder Guide Checklist Overview. You're going to get some great information today about leadership, business strategies, marketing, and sales. And so I want you to first pause this video and go to www.bigbossbusiness.com and download this guide so you can follow along with me. You can either print it or you can just upload it onto your computer, because I would love it if you would follow along so that you just maximize your experience here. So let's get right into it. There are 4 pillars of success in business. We have leadership, we have sales, we have marketing, and we have business. And we're going to go over all 3 of those in pretty big depth today. So get your pen and paper out, take notes, and definitely watch it to the end because you're going to be really, really glad you did. So leadership. You know, leadership strategy is one of my favorite things to talk about. I actually have a picture on my desk of the ultimate master of leadership, John Maxwell. I am one of their coaches for leadership, but have been part of their organization for a really long time when it comes to leadership. So definitely studied this, have a huge background on it. And so these are some things that I want you to really consider when you're thinking about your leadership strategies and some of the things that you want to do. So you want to build your mind. The first thing you want to do is build your mind. Building your mind is so important because your mind is a muscle, and the stronger that leadership muscle gets, the stronger you as a leader is going to get too. And what's interesting about that is as you practice and as you really dive into leadership and leadership strategies and your daily routines and those different things, it's going to get to a point where it comes naturally and you're not even going to have to try. You're going to notice that not just in business, but in life, you're going to be a leader in all aspects of your life. And people are going to come to you because and want to know what it is that you do or how you would solve a problem or how you would communicate with somebody, because this has been my experience. People are always coming to me saying, hey Christina, like this person said this and I'm trying to figure out how I can say it in a way that will come across so that they really take what I'm saying to heart and they don't get offended. Or, I have this problem that I want to solve and I'm not really sure, I don't have enough points of reference to solve it. Can you help me with that? So there's so many different things at being a leader and that leadership muscle that you can build. And I want to help you in that journey and really guide you into building yourself as a leader. So make sure you subscribe to our channel. We're also on podcasts as well. So I would love to add value to you on a daily basis. So let's get started with leadership. So build your mind. Read daily. Reading daily is so important. If you go on to christinaleanne.com, I have a reading list of things that you can read, and it'll just click the link and it'll take you right to Amazon and you'll be able to get those books. But I'm always building that list for you so that you have those guides to be able to help you be better in these 4 pillars. You want to also keep up with the industry's change. You want to see what's going on with everything that's going on. If you're in marketing, what's the top marketing strategies? If there's a new marketing book, are you getting that marketing book and looking at that? Because you want to develop yourself as a person, but you also want to develop yourself as a business person. And this is a business checklist. So I want you to really look at this as we're talking about the business side, but I'll also connect with you on the personal side as well, because they really do go hand in hand. You also, as a leader, when you take in that information, you're going to want to be able to regurgitate that information, because that's when you know that you know it, right? So if you can look at it, research, do all the things that you need to do to be able to learn about your business and know about your industry, and then you can take that content and put it online and teach other people, through maybe free outlets or paid outlets or however it is that you want to put that information out there. When you're able to regurgitate that information, it's really going to make a huge difference, because you're really going to be able to even soak it in even more than you already had. It's an amazing thing. You also want to stay open-minded. You know, it's really, you know, when somebody comes to me with a problem as a leader, you know, I try to look at it from like, what is their point of view? Where are they coming from? Where are their points of reference that's making them feel this way, or making them think that maybe something's happening that maybe they're actually creating a story around, right? And to really look at that and really be open-minded, and don't immediately come to a conclusion on that. So that is a big part of leadership, is really that mindset. And you really want to build that in all aspects of your mind. And you want to consider everything. You know, somebody could come to you with an idea, and it could be the craziest idea you've ever heard in your life. And you're like, I don't know about this, but then you're like, okay, I'm going to be open-minded to this because there's something of value here. There's something of value that this person is saying, and I need to find that value, and I need to connect with them on that value added piece, right? Lead from the front. That's the second part of what I want to talk about in leadership, is leading from the front. You want to expand your points of reference. So what do I mean by points of reference? So when you have points of reference, that means you have experience, right? So if you're younger and you're looking into leadership and you're trying to find, you know, be able to grow as a leader, you know, have that open mindset to listen to what other people are saying. Try to be open-minded to what it is that they're talking about, because that experience is going to be embedded in a point of reference. So when you have somebody come to you with a problem and you need that point of reference to solve it, you're going to be really glad that you listened, right? Even as you mature and you're older. You know, I'm 40 years old now, and it doesn't matter if the person's 18 or if the person's 85, I listen to them the same, and I'm really trying to find points of reference that I can learn from with that conversation, so that again, when I have a problem to solve, I have expanded points of reference to be able to solve that problem. And it is such a powerful thing as a leader to be a problem solver. And I have to tell you, I have been growing my problem solving skills for many, many, many years, and I have people that come to me and pay me to solve their problems, because I have built up my wallet of problem solving skills, because of the fact that I have so many points of reference to pull from, that even if I hadn't experienced that particular problem at that particular time, there is something in the repertoire of my points of reference that I can pull from that kind of correlate with that problem, that I can really help guide them and ask questions to really help add value to solving that problem, right? And that comes to being an intentional problem solver. You want to be a problem solver. You know, when people come to you with problems, you as a leader want to be that person that is always having a solution. There's always a solution to a problem, you know, whether it's time, money, or experience. Those are going to help you solve problems, right? And so for you, it's just a matter of just being really intentional about always solving problems, because one, you're going to be a way happier person being in that positive mindset, right? And if you're not in that positive mindset and you're focusing on the negative and you're focusing on the problem, then you're just going to get stuck and get paralyzed in whatever it is that you're doing. And it's going to take you a long time to start moving forward and getting that engine going. So if you are just always being intentional about solving problems, you're absolutely going to grow so fast as a leader and as a business person. You always want to find also ways to take less steps. So for instance, that's that reference of a person that takes an 8-hour workday and can do it in 2 hours. I'm one of those people. I can do that. It blows people away on how quickly I can get things done. But the thing is, one, I've grown my points of reference, right, to solve a problem. And now I can get things done quicker because I can figure out less steps to take to do the same task that somebody else would do. So my 1 or 2 steps would knock out 15 problems when somebody might have to go 15 steps to do 15 problems. So that is something that you want to grow as a leader and be able to do that. You also want to surround yourself with other leaders that are in the same business and in the same industry that you're in. And if you don't have somebody that you can really, you know, mastermind with or talk to or ask for advice, I really recommend you getting a coach. A coach is so important because the coach will really help you, one, stay on task, two, brainstorm, and three, coaches are really, these people are really good, and I'm really good at asking a lot of questions, because what I've found is whenever I guide somebody or I'm helping somebody solve a problem, if I ask them questions, they end up coming up with the solution. It's just I had to change their perspective or their thought process, or had to have them come from a different angle to see it in a different way. And then they're able to be able to solve that problem. So as a leader, that's something that you really want to build that muscle on, is really surrounding yourself with people that will help you do that, because it goes back to expanding those points of reference, being intentional about solving problems and taking less steps, right? So it's building on itself. You also want to be a person that's slow to react. Right? So if somebody comes to you with a problem, don't immediately have a solution for them. It's really important that you really think about what it is that you're going to say, and really think about what it is that you're going to do. Being a slow reactor is a huge thing for leadership. That really shows that you are an emotionally mature person when you're able to be slow to react. Now, you don't want to wait like 5 weeks or, you know, a year or whatever to react, but you just want to think before you react to anything. And it's just really important to be able to learn that and grow that muscle on that, because it really has saved me from so many situations that I could have been in super big trouble if I would have just reacted really quickly and it wouldn't have worked out. You also want to do everything with integrity. You know, integrity is the best thing that you possibly can be and do as a person. You know, I have always built my business on integrity. I think it's really important, because when something bad happens, and it does, because it's a numbers game and it's going to happen, there's bad things that are going to happen. People are going to make mistakes. People aren't going to follow through. People aren't going to do what they're supposed to do. You're not going to follow through. You're not going to do what you're supposed to do. It's just part of business. It's never going to go perfectly smooth, because if it went perfectly smooth, everybody would do it, and there wouldn't be those top people that were millionaires, right? So my son Jay. So it's just really important that you build your business with integrity. You know what else is really cool about the integrity situation is, if you are always a person that's in integrity, when something does go bad, you can go back to that person that you have to say, oh my gosh, this happened and it was really bad. And they know that you are a person of integrity, and they're like, you know what? It's okay. Let's figure this out. Because they want to continue to do business with you, because they want to do business with people that are going to have integrity and do the right thing. I have so many stories that I could tell you about me communicating with people, being completely upfront, open, honest, setting expectations from the beginning so that they understand timelines, they understand the process, they understand what's going to happen. And then if something does go wrong, you are able to say, hey, so this is what happened, and this is the hiccup that happened in this plan, but you know what, I'm a problem solver, so we're going to get this done, you know? And that's so important to be able to do. Another thing that, another part of leadership is communication. You know, communication to me is absolutely key. I cannot tell you how many times my communication skills has saved myself, saved partners that I've had, saved businesses that we've had, different things like that. Your communication skills are so important, and you really want to master those. And to be able to master those, it's just like exercising. It's like doing anything else. You've got to start communicating, and you've got to start communicating in a business way, right? And what are one of the greatest ways to do that is joining a mastermind group, or maybe Toastmasters, or some type of group, business group, that you're able to communicate with other people, where you have to either stand up in front of people and talk. And if you're an introvert, I promise you, you'll start practicing this and it'll get so much easier. But even in mastermind groups, being able to express your thoughts, right? If you're doing, say, we do mastermind groups on leadership, and to be able to sit in a room or on a Zoom call with, 20 other leaders, and we're talking about, the leadership ladder, or, John Maxwell's 21 laws of leadership, or the law of navigation, you're able to express what you think about that. And you're able to also talk about your story from that. And you're able to communicate those things. And what that's going to do is that's really going to help you take that speak and be able to, when you have a team, really communicate with them and really get to the point, really help them understand things in a clear way. A lot of times what people do is when they talk, they go all over the place. And they're here and there and everywhere. And the story starts here and then it goes up there and then it goes here. And you're like, and people are so confused, but as a leader in communication, what you want to learn is the steps of a story and the steps of communication. You want to learn that a story begins and ends, and that everything in between has to go in a sequence of knowledge, right? And a sequence of communication. Everything that we talk about builds on another thing. So I can't start talking about one thing, go off on a tangent about something else, and then try to bring everybody back to that point that I was trying to make. It's not going to work. So you really have to learn in communication to take the steps up the ladder to where it is that you want people to go in a clear way, that they just take one foot and put it in front of the other. Because what happens is a confused mind does nothing. And as a communicator, what that really says is a confused mind is not going to understand, so they're not going to take action, and they're not going to be able to be on that page with you, right? And when somebody doesn't take action and they don't understand, that's where breakdown happens, right? So we really want to learn communication. It's so important. So make what you say matter. When you speak, make what you say matter. Make sure that people are listening when you speak, and that you're not one of those people that are always just talking just to hear yourself talk. You have a strategy and a reason for everything that you're saying. And when you communicate with people, especially in your business, you want to make sure that they really, really understand things. So you want to make sure that what you say matters. You also want to be transparent. You want to let them know how you feel and what's going on. It's so important to do that. With our employees that we have, I have a task, and I'm very, very organized and very strategic. And I tell people how I want things done for a reason, because I really think about it to make sure that I save the most time possible when I give my employees a task, right? I want them to do the least steps possible, so I do it very strategically. And it's interesting because when people start to work for me, they don't understand that, right? And so they want to give ideas, which is fine, and people come up with ideas. But what happens is they go off on these different and try to do different things, and it ends up taking more time. So you just want to make sure that you're always being very transparent with people, and go, I really appreciate that you have this opinion, or that you want to do it this way, but this is actually why I'm doing it this way, and this is the reason, and from my experience, and every single time they're like, I'm just gonna do it your way. And then what ends up happening is, after a while, they don't even question it, unless there's this big red flag that they're like, ooh, I need to ask this question, or, oh, I need to be able to tell Christina that this part of the process isn't working. And then we go back to that drawing board and we work it out together, which is really great. And that comes into being respectful. We always want to be respectful to our employees, to ourselves, to the people around us, everybody in our business. I think it's just really important. It's a kind of a touchy subject for some people, but like I said, if you're slow to react, you're going to be respectful, right? So those go hand in hand. All of these come together, right, to be able to create that great leader that you want to be. You know, you also don't want to ask somebody to do something that you don't want to do. And I know that some of you already know these things already, but we want to just reiterate these things to the people that maybe never have heard this, right? It's so important that you get in with your team. Do it first. Be the first one up to bat. Be the first one to take the plunge. Be the first one in your company to do that. Because if your employees know that you're willing to do whatever job that you're asking them to do, they will do it happily without any fear or concern or anything. And it's a great feeling to be able to know that I can go to my employee or I can go to somebody on my team and be like, hey, I really need you to do this. And they're happy to do it because they know that I would never ask them to do something that I wouldn't do myself. So you also want to be confident. Confidence is really important. And people know when you're not confident in what it is that you're going to say. So that's why I want to teach you to be slow to react. Think about what you're going to say. Make sure that what you're going to say is going to be clear. And that's going to create a very confident person when they speak and when they iterate the things that they want to talk about, right? And people will listen when you have that confidence. People also listen when you ask questions, right? Because if you're a leader, you ask lots of questions. Because what happens is when you ask questions, you're gathering points of reference to solve a problem, right? We're going back to that, expanding those points of reference. Questions are what makes it happen. So when you ask a lot of questions, right, you're going to be able to solve a problem. For instance, I'm going to tell you a story about asking questions. It's funny. It is not a business thing. It's a food thing because, you know, we all eat. So my husband and I went out the other day and we took my dad out to my dad's 83 years old. We wanted to take him to this, a Thai restaurant. And for myself, I don't eat. I usually just eat shrimp or fish or something like that. I don't really eat like the red meats and different things like that. And I just do it because I feel better. And so, you know, when we were talking to the lady that was taking our order, what we were ordering was chicken, and it was a chicken bowl. And I said to her, I go, well, can we get shrimp in that? And she goes, no, you can't get shrimp in that. And I go, so it's already made with the chicken? Asked a question, right? She goes, no, it's just more expensive to put shrimp in. I go, so wasn't that you can't do it with chicken, it's that it's more expensive to do it with shrimp, correct? And she goes, yes. I go, so if I'm okay paying for shrimp, you can do it. And she goes, yeah. And I go, okay, well, of course I want to do that, right? Because that's what I wanted. And so think about it. If I would have just stopped at that in the very beginning when that first happened, and when she said no, and I didn't ask her any more questions, I wouldn't have gotten a meal that I wanted because there was nothing on the menu that I could have eaten or wanted to eat. And so I was able to get what I wanted by asking the questions that I needed to ask to be able to change her perspective of how she was thinking about the shrimp, right? So it's so important to ask questions. You also want to listen carefully. Listen carefully to what people are saying because they're going to give you a lot of clues when it comes to understanding things and what their perspective is. Because as leaders, we have to be that mirror. We have to really understand where people are coming from to be able to have the confidence as well as the heart for people. I just think it's really, really important. They say, you know, walk a mile, and that you don't know a person until you can walk a mile in their shoes. Well, as a leader, I need to walk as much as I can in their shoes to be able to really help them master or do whatever task it is that they need to do. So I'm really intentional with that. So I listen very carefully. I ask a lot of questions. It makes me feel confident in what I'm doing. And when all of these things come together as a leader, you're going to be blown away on how much easier it is to run your business and manage people and get your team going. So that is leadership strategies. Let's go to the next one. Business strategies. Oh my gosh, business strategies is awesome. I have so many cool things to talk to you guys about with this. I hope you have your pen and paper down, hit pen and paper, and you're writing some notes, because these business strategies are awesome. I'm going to briefly go through this, but just like with leadership, we have leadership mastermind groups. We also have business strategy mastermind groups. So if you're interested in that, please put comments in the below, and I can send you some information about those as well. So business plan, create a business plan. You absolutely want to create a business plan, and just know that this plan is going to evolve. You really want to revisit your business plan every 90 days to revamp it, get rid of what's old, what's not working, integrate some new stuff, do some problem solving, and then really set some realistic goals for yourself for those next 90 days, year, 5 years down the road. It's really important that we're setting goals for ourselves and that they're realistic goals. You know, we want to make sure that they're realistic goals, because if you keep failing, you're going to give up. So you've got to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success. Have yourself some realistic goals. You can do that in so many different ways, and we'll be teaching you that in our business strategy mastermind groups. Failure is part of growth. Oh my gosh, this is such a crazy subject, and I'm not going to get too much into this, but just remember that you have to fail to learn, right? That's what leaders do. Leaders are learners, right? So if you are failing, it's okay as long as you're learning from those failures, and next time that comes into your path, you know how to solve that problem now, because you've put that in your point of reference to be able to know, okay, when this happens, I'm going to do this, because when I did this, it didn't work. Okay. So, you know, make a business plan and set realistic goals, and be just an avid learner of any time you have a failure, because like I said, fail forward, like John Maxwell says, and you will absolutely catapult forward. Also, business strategy. You want to do a lot of research. You want to research on your competition. You want to research on, you know, different strategies that you can do in your business. You want to research on analytics and different things for what your business and how things are going in your business, and be able to tweak things, right? Don't try to reinvent the wheel. There's so many businesses out there that are probably doing what you're doing to some certain extent that you can replicate or do, or even do better. So really go out there and try to eliminate some of those steps, right? Let's take those 15 steps and let's start making them smaller. And a lot of that is just making sure that you're not reinventing the wheel, and you're really doing that research, because it's going to save you a ton of time if you do the research in the beginning for that. You know, research your competition and make sure that you see what they're doing, and go off of what they're doing, because if they're doing really well and you can see that this is a company that's doing really well, you know, you can take what they're doing, tweak it, make it your own, and go with that. You know, we don't want to copy somebody, but we want to get the blueprint, right? So we want to get the blueprint of the house, the blueprint of the business, and then make it our own, put our own colors on it, and put our own opinions on it, and put our own strategies on it, and our own things like that. But you really want to look for those blueprints, because really there's so much information out there these days that you really should not have to stress about success or not being successful, because if you follow those that have come before you that have been successful, just do what they do, and you will be able to have your own success in your own type of way. So you also want to use this content that you're learning on your competition and on your industry, and you want to be able to regurgitate that information. Use this information on social media, you know, platforms. I have a video on what social media platforms right for you. Watch that video, check it out, so that you can kind of see where you can put your content and how you can put your content. But it's really important that you are regurgitating that information. Give out free information. It's so important for people to learn to know, like, and trust you before you ask them to pull out their wallet and pay for anything, right? It's really important. There's so many people out there doing a lot of these things, and you know what makes you different is how you are when you present yourself. So important to be able to regurgitate that information. And then you want to invest in some good online tools. You know, there's there's different online tools that I'm going to talk about later on in this video when we get to marketing, which is the next slide, to be able to help you use some tools that will help you get keywords and different things like that. Staying organized is so important. Creating a routine, creating a to-do list is so important. Time blocking. I have a whole video on time blocking and how important it is. And that also is going to be in our business strategy mastermind group. You want to have whiteboards up in your house if you can, if you have that ability to do that, or have a notebook with your ideas. Always be writing your ideas down and different things, and then find those little nuggets that you're writing down every day that you can actually put into play, and now those things will be the ones that make you the most money. You also want to keep the end in mind. You know, when we are in that throttle of creating a brand, or in that throttle of building a business, or in that whole situation of trying to build something up, keep the end in mind. Know that when a plane takes off, it takes 80% of the fuel to take off. So if you do all of your research and all your due diligence and really push and get everything done in the very beginning, when that plane takes off, you're really just going to be at that point, just adding value, doing a little bit more here and there, tweaking things a little bit, and it's really going to be a well-oiled machine and work really well. And you also want to make your workspace work for you. You know, make sure that your stuff is organized, and that you really, when you sit down at your desk, that you feel good and confident, and that it's clean, and that you know where everything is, so that you can work diligently and efficiently in your business. The next part of business strategy, it's so important to build relationships. People that will not build relationships have the hardest time getting into online industries or getting into business. You know, branding is key. You want to find your brand, you want to stick with your brand, right? So this is how you build relationships. You get a brand and you stick to the brand. It takes somebody 7 times to see you before they will purchase or do anything like that. So you want to make sure that it's consistent. If you're always changing everything, you know, we try to stick with like the blue colors and those things so that it's familiar, like all the way down to those types of things. It's really important for people to be able to recognize you. You also want to find what you have in common with your audience. So once you identify who your audience is, what is it that you have in common with them that you can help them with and that you can add value to them, right? You also want to engage with your audience, like people's stuff, comment on people's things, you know, private message them and let them know, say happy birthday or happy anniversary, or ask them how their day's going or how their business is going. It's so important that you engage with your audience, and keep it light. You know, it's sometimes we get in this like trying to like do it a certain way or whatever, and it doesn't have to be like that. You know, we can have fun and we can like get all partied up and everything like that, and get it exciting and make people want to pay attention, and you know, there's a guy that does videos, and he's always like pow when he does his videos, and it's like, oh my gosh, like just, it's awesome because he really gets you excited and going, and you want to engage and learn from him. So keep it light, make it fun. Like I said, like and comment on your customers' things and people's different things on social media so that they can know that you're there and that you care, right? And then you also want to build your list. And we're going to talk about building your list of people here later on in this video. And you also want to get good content for what it is that you're building these relationships with, and that content is going to come from what you have in common with people. So let's get into this, right? Marketing strategies, right? You've got to create a marketing plan. It's so important to create a marketing plan. We have a mastermind group on creating a marketing plan. We would love to be able to help you with that, our marketing strategy mastermind group. You know, you want to create a marketing plan. Website development is so important that you have a website. A lot of people have a website and they also have a ClickFunnels or a sales funnel, but your website is where you live, right? And so it's really important. A lot of people are saying, oh, websites are, you know, not not in anymore. No, well, people look for your website. That's what they look for, to see if you're like a legit person, right? And you're not some from foreign country that you're going to, steal their information or something. So you want to have these online presences, even if it's a landing page or something about you or whatever it is. It's really important that you have that. Search engine optimization is also really important. I put out some tools down here. Check out these tools, thebestkeywordfinder.com, YouTubekeywordfinder.com, and our fusionfunnel.com are all great resources to be able to help with your search engine, as well as social media platforms. You want to know what social media platform is right for you, so that you can make sure that you're putting your content in front of the audience that is actually going to resonate with it and click through to that next page that you want them to see. Click funnels and sales funnels are also important. That kind of goes hand in hand with websites. Fusionfunnels.com is a great funnel tool that you can use as well. Building traffic is really important as well. We also go over that in our marketing strategy mastermind group. Being able to track all of the people that are coming to your page is really important too. And this is part of your marketing strategy. Google Analytics does a really great job with that. That's a great resource to use. And then you want to be an advocate for getting reviews and testimonies. It's great to get video testimonials with people, and then you can transpose those into, written testimonies as well. But you really want to advocate, and anybody that is coming into your business or that has used you and your service, you definitely want to get some reviews so that people really see what kind of service that you are giving to people and how happy they are. So lastly, let's talk about sales funnels. We are almost done, and I hope you are enjoying this. I'm having so much fun talking to you guys about these 4 pillars, because these really are so important to have in your business, and to really, really jumpstart your business or fill in the blanks of those things that maybe that you're missing in your business that you want to rejuvenate or recreate or just get going again, so that you maximize your income potential in your business. So sales funnel strategies are so important. We have here, you have to create an awareness, and then interest, and then they'll consider your product, and then there's going to be an intent, and then they're going to evaluate, and then they'll purchase, right? And so we want to be able to create these sales funnels for our customers, and all of these things that we've talked about are really going to help you do that. So you want to create a post that makes them want to click, right? And the fusionfunnels.com is going to really help you understand how to do that. There's like a boot camp that you can participate in if you want to be able to learn how to really do this online and digitally. You also want to offer them a free or complimentary gift to enroll as well when you are doing any kind of advertisements or any sales funnels, to be able to get them interested and even consider your product, right? You want to ask them to join you on a webinar or create videos to answer their most frequently asked questions. And this will help you create your lead list, right? MailChimp is a great tool. I think you get 2,000 customer contact information there for free. And then I think they start charging you after that. If you are a person that has a huge list, that's probably not a tool that you're going to want to use. But there's other tools out there, like Salesforce is great because they have that unlimited program. It's just a little bit more a month. But yeah, once you get to that $149 a month situation, and any tool that you're at, anything over that, you want to head over to Salesforce, because it's free after that. So you can have as many as you want. So you also want to create a sense of urgency, and that's through this funnel that you're going to be creating on your page, to be able to funnel people through their sales funnel. You know, every sales funnel nowadays is pretty digital. So you're really, if you're not a salesperson, you really don't have to sell. You just have to learn how to create really good content and get people interested and have that hook that people want for them to click and move into that funnel that you have of interest, right? You also want to ask for the sale. So, you know, at that, in each part of that funnel, you want to ask them to, you know, buy now, right? Click here, you know, learn more. Like, we want to use these calls to actions to ask people to move forward in the sale. And then you also want to ask people to do an upgrade. You know, you can have that product that you sell to them, but you also want to ask them to do an upgrade. There might be something else that you offer. You know, there might be that one thing that you do fantastic and that's what you advertise, but then you might have other little elements of your business that you do really well as well. And so you want to make sure that you're always asking for an upsell, because there is a high percentage of people that will get that upsell, and that can take you from a 6 to a 7-figure earner super easy. So you definitely want to always have an upsell as well. So I hope I added value to you today. I'm so excited that I was able to do this webinar for you and really help you get your business going. Again, make sure that you download our business builder checklist, www.bigbossbusiness.com. I am on YouTube. I love being able to do these presentations. So subscribe at my businessfusionmedia.com. I also have a podcast, Best Business Tips 2020. If it's 2021 and you're watching this, it's 2021. So Best Business Tips 2020.com. My Facebook, it's Business Fusion. Instagram, it's at Business Fusion. Twitter, it's a Business Fusion. We make it super easy. Come hang out with me. Like and comment my stuff. Let me know how much you love it. Let me know if you have a question. I absolutely want to add value to you. So again, this is Christina. I'm so excited that I was able to be with you today and that you were able to be on this webinar. And I'm so excited to be able to see you on the next one. And check out these videos that are also here. They'll add value to you as well. And do the business builder guide. It is awesome. You're gonna love it. So thank you again, everyone. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so grateful for you. And I hope that your business is successful, you are prosperous, and that you have a fantastic rest of your day. We'll see you again soon. Bye.